Good morning. I'm Selby. I'm the chair of the Natural Capital Group, and it's my great pleasure to welcome you to our Natural Capital Conference this morning. It's the seventh conference, and it's really great to be here, although it's virtually. And I'm sure we've got a fantastic a range of events over the next day and a half with people from across the globe representing public, private, third sectors. So very exciting, and these things can happen digitally, I suppose. Before we get going, I just wanted to run through a bit of housekeeping. As it's virtual, we don't have to worry about fire drills and toilet locations, things like that. But I would like to encourage you to engage in discussion about the conference, and also you can use the chat function for that. And also, if you want to, submit questions to be addressed to the panel discussion later on this morning. Live sessions will be recorded for use by the relevant organisations delivering these events, and copies of those pre-recorded content and presentations will be available on the microsite after the event. And please do join the conversation on social media via Twitter using #GMGreenCity @GMGreenCity for this morning, and this afternoon #IgnitionGM @GMGreenCity for the Living Lab launch. It is 18 months since we came together for our 2020 conference in the centre of Manchester. That was last February. And it was just a month before the coronavirus pandemic hit the UK. And it is really hard to believe how much we've gone through in that time. The pandemic really threw into sharp focus how important the natural environment is to us all. And I'm sure we've all found more solace in our parks and green spaces and countryside, and benefited from the positive impacts these have had on our physical and mental health. But also nature's had space to recover from the impact we've had on it at that same time. And if anything, the pandemic has highlighted how important our collected efforts are to improve the natural environment of Greater Manchester for nature itself and for people. A very interesting report, Valuing Nearby Nature, from Lancashire Wildlife Trust, gave us some really interesting insights and evidence on how local nature did help the people of Greater Manchester and beyond get through the lockdown. In that time of huge uncertainty and stress, people wanted access to nature. 99% said that they've been able to connect with nature during the restrictions, and it was very important to them. 67% valued nearby nature much more or more now compared with before the restrictions, showing that people really wanted nature access. And 67% had also visited nearby nature much more or more often over the last week than compared with a week before the restrictions. So our work across the Greater Manchester area provides the basis from which to make the case for putting natural environment at the heart of our recovery. And the work of the Urban Pioneer, Natural Course, we've got a range of tools and evidence that can really help demonstrate the true value of our natural environment and the wide range of benefits it provides to society. And these tools are particularly important to the light of pandemic. And just say we've just launched the Greater Manchester Natural Capital User Guide, which is designed to be the go-to reference point for all things natural capital across Greater Manchester. And it really aims to help increase user understanding, confidence and uptake of the tools that we've got available. And despite the impact of the last 12 months on many of our environmental NGOs and charities, we have managed to accelerate progress towards the goals that we have. And I really want to thank all those partner organisations, the community groups, the volunteer groups, who continue to make things happen to improve our natural environment in the face of those challenges. I know it's been really tough, challenges financially, keeping your volunteers safe, but the fact that you've kept going is fantastic. So thank you. Councillor Weston will highlight some of the achievements, many of which are going to be showcased in videos and content as part of this conference. And whilst we've achieved a lot over the last 12 months, there's still an immense amount to do, which is exciting and challenging altogether. And what we're focusing on today is really looking at how we deliver nature-based solutions across the city region. So that's why Natural Capital Group teamed up with Natural Course and Ignition Projects and the University of Salford to bring together leading natural environment practitioners to discuss those challenges of increasing nature-based solutions in Greater Manchester. It is the first time that we've delivered our conference over multiple days. And so just a quick run through that. This morning, we've got the Natural Capital Group conference, which we're in now, with keynote speakers and a live panel discussion. This afternoon from 12:40 till 14:30, there is the Ignition Nature-Based Solutions Living Lab launch at the University of Salford, followed by a regional international perspective on urban nature-based solutions. And we have a panel of mayors from the UK, Germany, Australia and Canada. So a real international flavour there. And tomorrow morning from 10 till 12, we've got the Natural Course Greater Manchester's Water Forum, bringing together organisations and partnerships from all over Greater Manchester that are involved in the water cycle to share knowledge, experience and to build understanding of the roles and responsibilities of other organisations active in this area. Can I also recommend that you look at the number of pre-recorded and on-demand videos that we have on the site. You can do this at your leisure. We have lightning talks on nature-based solutions to climate emergency, Natural England's ecological network, modelling tool, parks for people in pandemic. We've got some celebrated videos. There's the Greater Manchester Natural Environment film, understanding the role of nature-based solutions, and that's conversation with the Youth Combined Authority. And it's fantastic that we've got a lot of young people involved in this agenda and new voices in nature recovery. We've got virtual site tours of Compton Moor, looking at multiple benefits from natural flood management. And we've got a virtual site tour of West Gorton Community Park. We've also webinars on local nature recovery strategies and the plan for nature recovery for Greater Manchester, which is just being completed. We've got catchment systems thinking in action, plans for green recovery and the Manchester Ship Canal strategy, and also a webinar on investing in nature-based solutions and looking at innovative funding models and the Greater Manchester Environment Fund, which we've just been developing. So do click on the website you're logged into to find out more. So brilliant level of attendance today. So thank you everyone for joining us, bringing together all practitioners from across different sectors, not just from Greater Manchester, but from across the UK, Europe, and even worldwide. We've got a fantastic lineup of speakers this morning who are providing their own perspectives on key issues and the challenges around nature-based solutions, and they will be participating in a live panel discussion and question and answer session after the break at 11. So if you do have questions, please try and get them into us and we'll try and get through as many as we can. This is an opportune moment for all environmental practitioners to showcase green and blue solutions that are being delivered across Greater Manchester, and an opportunity to look forward to ways we can support a green recovery. The panel will be exploring key opportunities and challenges for nature-based solutions, and some of the key questions we want to explore is, financial, how do we attract new and innovative funding forms to help nature-based solutions, things like biodiversity net gain, and the new environmental and management schemes. Environment, how do we create a resilient city region that provides green, blue and wider benefits? Political, how do we prioritise and inform decision making? What are the right governance arrangements that we need? Technical, identifying and using tools and evidence that support delivery, like the Natural Capital Users Guide and Natural England's ecological networking model and the Ignition evidence that we'll be looking at later. Social, who's involved, who's not involved, how do we get them involved? And policy, what are the future legislative requirements and what does that mean for delivery? Now, I do hope you enjoy the sessions that are coming up, but just before I hand over to Councillor Weston, who's the leader of Trafford Council and will be delivering the opening address, I just wanted to thank him, actually. Councillor Weston has led the Green City Region Partnership over the last 2 years. And that has been a fantastic achievement because it is such a huge agenda and it's pushing on so many fronts. It's quite awe-inspiring actually sitting at the meetings to see what's happening and the common purpose that's there. Councillor Weston has done a fantastic job of holding us all together over the last few years. He's now going to take up the lead for digital work skills and clean air. And I really just wanted to thank Councillor Weston for his time and dedication during that time, taking us to another stage of our ambitions to create a carbon neutral city by 2038. His replacement will be Councillor Neil Emmett, the leader of Rochdale Council, and just wanted to say thank you so much to Councillor Weston. And now I'll hand over to him. Thank you.